The Atlantic Ocean on the one side and the beautiful mountains of the Basque Country on the other side, and in between lies one of the most beautiful cities of France, Biarritz, and the perfect place to explore on the motorbike. And we're going to do that today on the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. So today is the first day of the Wheels and Waves Festival, and apparently the early bird catches the worm, because we're out at like 6 in the morning here in the hotel complex. And our goal now is to, let me close this door, is to get on the bike and get to the Côte de Basque beach to surf some waves before the festival starts, because according to the surf report, the surf right now is the best. So currently carrying everything to the bike. Yeah, and let's go. With Biarritz being one of the most famous cities for European surf culture, it definitely makes sense to bring the surfboard and navigate our way to the beach. And with that, we can see into the bay of the Pays de Basque plage. And Biarritz as a city is quite mountainous, so we have the perspective from quite high up, because we're already so close to the Pyrenees, and the city is just fitted onto the mountain close to the sea. I stored my stuff early on the beach over here, and you see the water is slowly reaching the rocks, so we got out of the water right at the right moment where we still can like easily get out of here. Yeah, it was lovely. Like, the water was a lot of white water, but we just surfed Europe's most famous right-hand wave over there with the lighthouse. I think I even got a shot where the lighthouse was in the background. It felt really, really amazing. Really often the GoPro effect kind of distorts it, but like being here and having experienced this for myself, what a lovely experience. Let's get back on the bike. With getting up early, I was really craving a coffee, and I already had a place in mind that I definitely wanted to check out for that. With it now being almost 9 in the morning, the city has woken up, and you can now see one of the reasons why Biarritz is best explored on a motorbike, because it is traffic-wise and also parking-wise not just one of the worst places in Europe, but most likely worldwide. So it's definitely one to leave the car at home, especially if you want to find easy parking at the cafe that we now just went to, and that is the Deus Cafe. Est-ce que c'est possible de payer par carte ici? Oui. J'aimerais une golden latte avec glaçon. The coffee was really, really good. The Deus Cafe, however, was full of people who were co-working on a laptop, and outside of that, it had some nice ambience, and they were selling plenty of t-shirts. However, what I found interesting were the coffee table books. It's just so lovely seeing all the bikes parked outside of the cafe, and also the banana bread was really, really lovely, and also the car inside the shop, and I saw a few nice surfboards. But I think it's now time to continue our trip through Biarritz. So I arrived at the festival and was allowed to bring my motorbike onto the festival grounds, and with that, a short interruption.
Let's talk a second about Beeline, the sponsor of this video, which helped make this trip possible with
the Moto 2 Classic, a really beautiful navigation device that doesn't interrupt the styling of your classic motorbike, especially with this beautiful chrome rim. And it's really easily switchable from all different kinds of bikes, so it became a regular companion on many motorbike tests. And it's such a nice device. It has plenty of really nice features, from basically a top-down perspective in a Google Maps style that is like gives you enough clues to properly navigate a city, but doesn't really get in the way or annoy you. And I navigated India with this thing in between, so it definitely works. And you can also track your routes that you're taking, also off-road, in combination with the compass function, which is really nice if you're exploring here on the coast and look for basically still hidden surf spots where no one else is surfing and you don't want to lose where that surf spot was. So it's definitely a really nice device. Check out the link in the description and get your own. So now I've been for a bit on the festival, and as you can see, one thing is on this festival unavoidable, and that is a sunburn. It's really difficult to get out of the sun, except if you're in one of those little tents looking at stuff, and often they're kind of the behind the scenes. Sunscreen, everything, tried to find shadow, still wasn't enough. A bit mad at myself for that. However, the rest of the festival is quite cool. We're walking past one of my highlights, the very gorgeous longboards that are almost like art at this point. And we saw some really beautiful custom bikes on the Royal Enfield stand, one with a dual engine setup and like wood parts. And I talked to the guy who made the wood parts and who's like doing his little thing, and it was so incredible. And seeing that, it was so lovely, and just so many other really nice things. Like we have like little barber shops here. Was even considering going there myself. The festival also had some lovely looking skateboarding. I very recently also got into skateboarding, but I'm still very far away from that level. However, it was really lovely to watch before actually going to the skate park. However, not to skate, because there was the Art Ride Gallery. A mixture of custom bikes and almost art-like surfboards, and a few cars mixed in. When talking about Biarritz in the motorbike space, usually the Wheels and Waves Festival gets all the attention. However, it needs to be said that the true star of the area is the town Biarritz itself outside of the festival. And that's why we are going to have a look at that now. I was considering picking up a skateboard deck from Biarritz, and I was looking at the one at the top because the Virgin Mary has such a big presence in Biarritz from many different statures that it would be the one that has the most connection to the town Biarritz, but didn't end up actually going for it. So we're now walking through the really beautiful market hall here in Biarritz with all kinds of really nice foods, from really good looking vegetables, fruit, and also really nice cheese. Some of that I'll be picking myself up in a minute. We also have a really nice market outside with plenty of clothes, and basically markets that build up and close over and over again, like every week. And it's just so nice to see. And maybe I can find a place that sells some crepe over here, because I'm really craving that, and I hope we're lucky with this. So we now already saw a good bit of Biarritz, and I really have to say Biarritz is one of my favorite places in Europe. It's just so beautiful here, and really often for people who ride motorbikes, the first thing that comes to mind with Biarritz is the Wheels and Waves Festival, and I showed that to you guys now also a bit, but I think it's really important to not forget that the city where this takes place is basically the true jewel of this area, because the city itself is a lot more beautiful, in my opinion, than the festival. Being able to go surfing here, the beautiful centre-ville city center, and like with the motorbike, it's just really perfect to navigate around here and be able to stop basically everywhere, stop at the beach, go surf, because that is the true challenge of Biarritz, and it is the perfect city to really explore on the motorbike, I have to say. And also the surrounding area where we're going to continue to soon, the Pyrenees, they are basically here on the other side, and we are very close to Spain, very close to the Pyrenees. It's just such a perfect city with everything so close together, the surf, the motorbike riding. Also, the motorcycle culture here outside of Wheels and Waves is present the whole year. Like, if you're here any time of the year, you will see plenty of cafe racer builds, cruiser builds. It got a bit less with how French parking law changed, but you can still find plenty of that here. So let's continue explore. When looking down to the beach, it looked like there's going to be soon some clean surfable waves. However, the Pays de Basque beach was also really busy, and the conditions were good for longboards, but we're still trying. It was already quite late and the sun was about to set.
So with the sun now being gone, I think we're also done. My shoulders kind of gave up, and somehow all the water is coming into my suit, but it's not getting out. Feels like I have about 25 kilos of water in my suit. Yeah, but it's so lovely. I mean, sadly the mount for the POV shots broke, otherwise you would have seen how gorgeous it was to paddle out and just look at these colors of the sunset over the beautiful villa that is like right here in Biarritz, and now with all the street lights being on, just wonderful. And with that, man, Biarritz is one hell of a town. Genuinely really love it here.
Can't you see you're tearing me down?
When getting back into my clothes, I cooled a bottle of kombucha in a puddle of Atlantic water, and it was so nice and enjoyable. After the amazing surf session, I still went back to the festival and enjoyed a really nice concert and the Wall of Death event, where motorcycles are driving on the wall of the circus, and it's really amazing. So, made it back to the hotel, absolutely knackered. Can't wait to just sleep. However, Biarritz is a really wonderful city, and now still being out for a concert was just a lovely experience. Definitely like and subscribe, and also check out the links for the motorcycle surfboard rack, and see you guys in the next video.